Fight! Fight and keep on fighting until the victory is ours! Fight for your women and your children!
Every year, audiences and fans say goodbye to their favorite shows, whether on TV or on various streaming platforms, Netflix being one of the most popular. One of the streaming service's most watched shows, The Last Kingdom, will also be bidding goodbye soon as it premieres in early 2022. The historical fiction series has been charming fans for years, and they are definitely sad to see the show go. In this video, we're going to talk about all the juicy details every and any The Last Kingdom fan needs to know about the upcoming 5th and last season. Let's not waste any time and get right into it. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. How will the curtain fall on the series? Fans were disappointed when they learned that the 5th season will be the show's last. Expected to air before this year ends, the series will be based on the 9th and 10th books, Cornwell's Warriors of the Storm and the Flame Bearer. The last season will continue to follow the adventures of Uhtred of Bebbanburg as he tries to achieve his ambition. The warrior that was born a Saxon but raised as a Dane in the 9th and 10th centuries of England is now in charge of training the king's firstborn as a warrior. However, in order to do so, Uhtred has to face his greatest foe and may possibly suffer his greatest defeat too. When is the release date for the 5th season? A series such as The Last Kingdom requires a production that is lengthy, so there's the possibility that the premiere date may be even moved to early 2022, but fans are hoping that they stick to the end of 2021. Since taking over the series from the BBC, Netflix has added 2 extra episodes and also added an extra month or 2 between the release of each season. A total of 18 months was necessary between the release of the 2nd and 3rd season and 17 months between the release of season 3 and 4. Who is in the cast of season 5? In a series where characters are dying left and right, it's given for some cast members not to return in the following season. Ian Hart's father Baroka, for one, will obviously be missing in the 5th season after dying in the 4th. The show's producers said that it was quite difficult to lose Ian Hart because he is such a fantastic actor and they must show audiences that there are real consequences to battles. Uhtred loses a father figure, a person that has always been there for him, who has guided him and also fought with him. Viewers also had to say goodbye to Toby Regbo's Uhtred. Knut and Stipa also lost their lives, but there is one person who's definitely coming back, and that is Alexander Dreymon as the lead star. He said that one of the most challenging aspects of playing his character is keeping it interesting and keeping it alive. He's been through so much, including seeing his lover's head cut off and thrown in front of him, but more horrible things just keep happening to Uhtred. In the final season, Dreymon will make his directorial debut and will be directing an episode. During the final season, Paul Wimshurst, John East, Andy Hay, and Anthony Phillipson will be directing the full season. Uhtred will have to decide between loyalty and love. In the 4th season, viewers saw Uhtred interacting with his children, and that's the most time he spent with them. His 2 children, Stiora and Uhtred the Young, have both gotten traits from their father. They are also stubborn and also have a desire to make their own path in the world. Stiora was more happy to be used as a bargaining chip to negotiate peace between Saxons and the Danes. Ultimately, she decided to join Sigtryggr and head to Oferic. Her brother, meanwhile, decided to continue his journey with the church and resume his studies. But the truce won't last. Edward and Ethelfled both want to fulfill their father's ambition of unifying England. So will Uhtred be siding with his daughter Stiora and the Danes, or will he fight for the woman who has captured his heart? We can only guess for now. Does Uhtred have any plans of retaking Bebbanburg? Another question that is looming on everyone's mind is, does Uhtred have any plans of retaking his ancestral home after he failed to secure the fort? His cousin Witger is now the Lord of Bebbanburg, and he was able to do this after killing his own father and also killing Father Beoka in the process. Fans are quite certain that Uhtred will want to exact revenge on his cousin after what happened. Witger has also made it clear that he won't allow anyone to claim his ancestral home, not while he is still alive. So we fans can be sure that there will be a lot of action in the coming season. There will be new threats from the east and north. The Danes lost a great amount of territory to the Saxons, so it wouldn't surprise audiences to see more Danes arrive from abroad and try to reclaim their lost lands. Brita was last seen giving birth to Ragnar's baby, but still wants revenge on Uhtred and the Saxons. Brita is full of pride and is vengeful, but she is likely to surface again and may even have an army behind her. Haston, on the other hand, survived the siege of Winchester, and he's bound to make his way again to the inner circle of a Danish lord. Is the series based on a true story? The show is not based on history, it's only historical fiction. The Saxon Stories by Bernard Bernard Cornwell. The upcoming season is based on the 9th and 10th books, but the TV show will divert from the plot of the novels. A few parts of the show were inspired by true events, including the lead character himself, Uhtred. Uhtred is based on Uhtred the Bold, and according to the book's author, he's a descendant of the real Uhtred. How did Season 4 set up Season 5? The show will continue to adopt Cornwell's stories. The book's synopsis says Uhtred of Bebbanburg controls northern Mercia from the strongly fortified city of Chester, but forces are rising up against him. Northmen, allied to the Irish, led by the fierce warrior Ragnar Iverson, are soon joined by the Northumbrians, and their strength could prove overwhelming. One of the biggest challenges faced by the team is adapting the book that takes place over a period of 6 years. Getting into the 5th season, Uhtred is 54 when the book starts and ends up at 60 years old. They need to make Uhtred look like he's aged without making it look funny. So what does the author think of this series, particularly when characters are cut or when the story is sped up? He understands that there are constraints in the series and he thinks they did a brilliant job. Why is the series ending in its 5th season? Why did Netflix cancel the show when there was so much more material to adapt? Netflix officially canceled the show at the end of April 2021, but they didn't provide a specific reason. The streaming service has always been notorious for refusing to renew popular shows after just a few seasons, so the decision is not a surprise to some fans. In 2021 alone, Netflix canceled many shows including Tucka and Birdie, The Duchess, and The OA. The show could have been easily extended to a 7th season considering the abundance of material available, but Netflix feels that the 5th season is a good closure for fans. There's also the possibility that the logistics of future production didn't make any sense financially to Netflix. The good news is that the cancellation of the series doesn't mean that the entire storyline will be completely forgotten. There is always the possibility that they may set up a movie that's presumably based on the last 3 of Cornwell's books, War of the Wolf, Sword of Kings, and Warlord. What do the fans want to see before the show finally ends? Of course, there are a few things that fans would like to see before the curtain finally drops on the show, and we're going to talk about some of them. The show has always been great when it comes to portraying cunning, conniving, and slimy Anglo-Saxons, and a few notable unscrupulous characters are young Odda and Ethelwald, but nobody beats Ethelhelm, who poisoned Ellsworth while imprisoned in Winchester. Fans would like to see some justice done for this, and are hoping that he will be ousted by King Edward and seen for what he truly is, a snake. Fans would also like to see Uhtred's family reunited, because it was difficult for fans to see his son returning to the church and his daughter going with the Viking Sigtrygr. Everyone wants to see them together again at Uhtred's Bebbanburg. Some of the show's best elements are the battles. They are exciting and electrifying. The series does a very good job of creating compelling as well as brutal battles, and to the average viewer they are accurate too. The shield wall is one element that became a huge hit in the show. It helped King Alfred win victories against the Vikings, so it was a shame that people only saw it in one episode. Hopefully we'll be seeing more shield walls in the 5th season. Lastly, people want to see more of the most interesting Danes in the show, Sigtrygr. He's a thoughtful character who wants to do more than just fight for the sake of fighting. In the end of Season 4, he took Uhtred's daughter, and people want to see how their relationship has developed since then. We have come to the end of our video. What are you most looking forward to in The Last Kingdom's 5th season? What will you remember most about the series? Let us know in the comment section. Stay safe while waiting for our next video.